So good morning, I wanted to touch base. We're doing a VIP tour and they pick you right up at your hotel, and we are in the van, and obviously we have children, so they bring car seats and everything. They have it all arranged for you. So yeah, let's go on our VIP tour. All right, so we're walking through here because we got dropped off backstage. They met us with like water and snacks. They scanned us in with our park ticket, and then we are now let off through the backstage Tower of Terror. So we're walking through Tower of Terror right now and headed over to Rock and Roller Coaster to meet the rest of our party. And then I think we're gonna hit up Toy Story Land. So I'm in Toy Story Land, obviously, and got my poncho on. They give us ponchos, which is great. And Rosie's asleep, otherwise I would be on. They're on Toy Story Mania right now. Everybody else is on Toy Story Mania, but we're gonna do all the different rides. We are with our amazing guide Shane, and we are waiting to get on Slinky Dog, or not Slinky Dog, Alien Swirling Saucers. It is raining like crazy, if you guys can see that. Oh my gosh, and we are soaking wet. Still magic, still magical, still magical.
Here we go.
Come on, here we go. Thank you. Go on in, Rue. It's our turn. Wow, we never get to ride anything the other line. We're inside.
Ready? I got you.
Here we go. Alien, ready to swirl?
Ready.
Are you ready to swirl? Man, where are we?
Living with the land. I don't think I've ever been on this.
Really?
One of those living systems is the rainforest.
Oh, it's great.
Home to the most
If you look
amazing
up
concentration of life
above
on our
those
planet.
trees, see where the lamp lights
These
are?
dense and beautiful
That's the
forests
rotating
cover
restaurant
only a
called
tiny
Garden Grill,
portion
and it
of Earth's
rotates and you
surface.
can see like the
It
ride.
can contain more than half of its plant and animal species. Welcome to our living laboratory, where scientists from Epcot and the U.S. Department of Agriculture are exploring innovative ways to produce bountiful harvests now and into the future. The tropics are home to the greatest diversity of plants on the planet. Many of these, like papaya, bananas, cacao, coffee, and rice, are well known around the world. These are just a few of the edible plants that have been an important source of nutrition for people living in the tropics. Many are rich in vitamins, like the water lily, thrive in wet, swampy areas and waterways. All parts of this plant, even the flower petals, are edible.
Oh, do you smell that?
The starchy root of the plant has long
Smells
been used to
good.
make flour for baking. Bananas growing on both sides of the boat. More than 28 million tons of bananas are eaten annually, making it the most popular fruit in the world.
In the tree? Bananas. That's how bananas grow. Isn't that cool?
Wheat, maize, sorghum, and millet, plus rice, account for nearly 2/3 of our global food consumption. Learning how to increase yields of these staples
Look at
is
that
an
Mickey
important
Mouse.
goal of research around the world.
See the big Mickey, Roo?
Well, I hate to end the vlog like this because I feel like I didn't even do the vlog with my messy room. So we are packing for the cruise. Today was so rainy. I could barely bring out the camera because it was so rainy and I didn't want to ruin it. So anyway, whatever we got, we got. I know we got a lot of living with the land, but I hope you guys enjoyed today. I will do a full review of the Disney VIP tour, which I loved, and I will see you guys in the morning. Good night. Hello everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed that vlog. I'm sorry it was so short. Honestly, it was raining the whole day, literally like torrential downpours. And then it was also they take you backstage, and we'll go more into that when I go over the VIP tour with you. But I did want to go over the VIP tour, give you a little review, kind of give you some stats on it, because I know it seems kind of elusive and people are like, I don't even know like how much it exactly costs, or I don't even know like what do you do on this tour, or like what's included. So I wanted to go over all of that with you guys. Now, as far as VIP tour pricing, it actually ranges between $425 and $625 depending on time of year, and that is at time of filming. If you're watching this in the future, hello future, and also this is just today, which is March 6th, 2019. So as of March 6th, 2019, that is current pricing. Every guest in your party needs a park hopper ticket. So that means that park hopper tickets are not included in the price of admission, but need to be had with your VIP tour. You can have up to 10 people per guide, but if you want more than 10, you're gonna need to get another guide. You can and you should tip your guides. I feel like there's stuff all over the internet about like whether or not they can accept tips or whatever. They can accept tips and you should tip them. Give as much notice as possible, but you need to have your final guest list as well as anything you want to do at least 48 hours in advance. Now let's get kind of into the nitty-gritty of what it was like and what the tour was like, as well as kind of the planning piece aspect of the tour. Okay, Rosie decided to go play, so that's gonna make it easier for me to talk to you guys. So as far as the day and the actual day, let's kind of get into that. As far as like pre-planning, it really helps your guides to kind of tell them what attractions you may want to ride or do, what shows you may want to see, what fireworks shows you may want to see, and all of that stuff is included, as well as any sort of, if you want to plan any meals in advance. Now you have to pay for the meals outside of your guide, but they can kind of help you arrange reservations for any sort of shows you may want to see, because they do have VIP viewing areas for those kinds of things, for fireworks, for parades, for shows. So that is something you definitely want to arrange for in advance, because they arrange it for you to make sure that you have that great viewing area for fireworks and shows. It also helps to tell them what kinds of rides you want to do. Now, as far as rides, you go through the fast pass queue. Some of them they may walk you through an exit, but for the most part, they walk you through the fast pass queue. And if a ride or a character doesn't have the fast pass, you actually will wait in line. But if you have more than one guide, sometimes the guide will go wait for a character so you guys can have a snack, and then you can meet your guide when it's time to meet the character. It doesn't happen every time, but I know that they had offered it up to meet Edna Mode, and Edna didn't end up having a very long line, so we all just waited together for Edna. Now, kind of the breakdown of the day. The first thing they're going to do is pick you up in a white van at your hotel. So they will pick you up and drop you off at your hotel, so you have some private transportation, even different from the minivans, which is what I thought. I figured we'd all get picked up at a minivan. Nope, they pick you up in a white van, and they will also bring any sort of car seats or booster seats you need for kids. And if it's raining, they will bring you ponchos, which I thought was so great. They bring both the adult size and the kid size. Your guide is going to drive you backstage to enter the park. Any of the parks, they're driving you backstage. There are other VIP guides waiting for you there. They will check you in with one of those like iPad magic scanners, which you will see if you have sort of a problem ticket when you're walking into the entrance of a park. But they will scan you in that way. They will also greet you with snacks and water. Just as an FYI, there are no pictures or video allowed backstage. That's just a rule that you should know and note when you are going on these VIP tours. And then depending on what's the fastest mode of transportation and what's kind of available, they will either drive you backstage when you're going throughout the park, or you will walk through the park, and they have different ways of like doing things. So for Epcot, for example, for the most part, they drive you from Future World to the World Showcase and around. There is a space where they cannot drive you backstage. I believe it's Norway, but other than that, they will just drive you around backstage. All the other parks, you will be still transported as much as they can backstage, but some places you will be walking. Ow. Now, it is important to note, you can change your plan throughout the day. Like, we were supposed to see the Happily Ever After fireworks, but like I said, it was like torrential downpour. We were honestly soaking wet and decided just to go back to the hotel, changed our clothes, and went back to Epcot. So
you can change your plan. You can kind of do whatever works for you, but it's nice for them to kind of have an outline of what your goals are. And it's easier to do when you don't have any sort of weather issues. If you want, the guides will ride rides with you. So I don't know if that's something that you want. Some of the guides won't ride rides, some of them will, and you can ask and offer, and it's fun to have them just like become a part of your family. And that's kind of what they do. They get to know you, they figure out what you like, they talk about your Disney history and like, have you ever been to Disney? And then they tell stories and they include you in their family. That's what I loved about this VIP tour. But that's what I love about the cast members in general, is that they're just like including you in their family, and I love it. Now, you guys saw, but we ended up going to, starting at Studios, we got dropped off behind backstage of Tower of Terror. We walked through Tower of Terror and we went straight to Toy Story Land. We rode some rides there. Then we left, went to Epcot, had some snacks there. At Epcot, some of our party went and rode Soarin', some went with Living with the Land, and then we did some riding around Epcot. Now, what we were supposed to do was go over to Magic Kingdom and watch Happily Ever After. Like I said, they have a private viewing area, but we weren't able to because the rain was so terrible. So we ended up going back to Epcot after and rode Frozen and just kind of walked around the park, enjoyed the park. So unfortunately, because of the rain, it really kind of hindered the tour, just because the rain kind of stops you with what you're trying to do. So I would definitely try and recommend going at a time when there isn't a lot of rain, which is pretty impossible in Florida. But I imagine we could have gotten a lot more done had we done that. Now, our tour was 7 hours. So as far as 7 hours goes, I think you definitely could do it with three parks. I don't know about being able to do it with 4 parks. Now, granted, we had 2 tours because we had so many people in our party that we ended up taking up 2 tours for this 7-hour adventure. So we got picked up at 1, got dropped off at 8, and we just, you know, I think the tour would be amazing for when like a land opens. For example, when Star Wars Galaxy's Edge opens, I would 100% book a tour for that, because that is definitely a time when it's going to be really crowded. It'll be nice to be backstage and be able to walk through the fast pass queues for any of the attractions or the shows, or have special viewing area. So I think that like if you were to just focus on a land, you could definitely do like a tour that way. Now, I believe you have to have the tour for 7 hours. We did the minimum, which I believe is 7 hours. Correct me if I'm wrong. I may be wrong on this, but this is what I vaguely remember. I vaguely remember that you needed to book the tour for at least 7 hours. You can do it for more, but I think the minimum was 7 hours. So I mean, that would definitely give you enough time, especially in Hollywood Studios, where you could go do Galaxy's Edge and then you could go do Toy Story Land. Are you kidding me? Like, 100% worth it for a tour. You can ride things more than once, and it just doesn't limit you, and it allows you to kind of bypass all the waiting. It's a VIP tour. It's literally a guide who's going to tell you history and facts about Walt Disney World. They're gonna get to know your family and your likes and dislikes, and then they're gonna take you on this awesome tour. I loved it. I think that had we planned it differently, it probably would have worked out better for us. And I also recommend don't doing a group of 10, because it was just so many people to try and rally, especially with our kids and having to get them in and out of booster seats and car seats. So it was a lot, but I think there's definitely a way to do it that's going to work in your favor. Now, obviously, I am just answering general questions. If you have any specific questions, feel free to shoot me an email or leave me a comment down below. I know I have been slow to getting back to comments, but I'm really trying. I'm just honestly so overwhelmed with the amount of support and love you guys are giving me. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for everybody who waited for this video. I know that is not at my usual time, but you know, life happens, and you guys are amazing and so understanding, and my subscribers are the best. So I appreciate it so much. And I think I put a little poll up after Leanne and I talked about our story, and if you guys want to see more content like that, I'm actually kind of trying to figure out a way to add in some of that lifestyle content that I don't typically do, just because this is mainly a Disney Channel, because that's what I started off doing. You guys were so overwhelmingly supportive of our story. I have things in the works talking about the girls' story and also some other things that I saw, but if there's something specific you want to see from our family, I would love to create content that you guys are kind of looking at that's other than Disney. So leave me a comment or shoot me a message. I'm pretty responsive. I try to get back within at least a week. I know that that's like terrible, but if you guys didn't know, other than my travel agency, I also stay home with Rosie, so I am focusing on her. I really try to focus on her. So unfortunately comments fall by the wayside, but I really do try to respond to every single comment that is given. So with that said, the next vlog will be going up on the regular Monday. So I will see you guys in the next vlog. And I also have some really fun Disney content that's coming that I can't wait to share with you. And as always, can you say bye-bye? Bye-bye. And as always, I hope to make your trip just a little more magical. See you guys real soon. Bye. You say bye-bye? Bye. Bye, guys.